Welcome back, dear viewers, with our second guest of the evening, and he's back to inspire us again. He's Mr. Hamza Taqi, the Master Performance Consultant. Mr. Hamza, good evening and welcome back to Ya Hala Kuwait.
Good evening to you and to your audience, and I'm always glad to be back.
It's always a pleasure, sir. So can you explain to us, please, what happens to the brain when you develop a new habit?
Well, habit starts with when you do a certain behavior consistently, repeatedly, the part of the brain which is the frontal cortex will be activated, and the more you do that activity, it goes into a part of the brain that is called basal ganglia, where it makes that routine into the subconscious, and you do it subconsciously or automatically. So anything that we do automatically, it starts with a behavior or maybe a thought that triggered an emotion, and then behavior, and you do that behavior over and over again, it becomes a habit.
And when it comes to the time, how long it takes, or typically like taking or forming a new habit? Does it follow a specific rule, or it depends or varies from a person to another?
Definitely, it varies from person to a person, and it depends on the complexity of the habit itself. So some researchers, they say it takes from 21 days to 66 days. So if it's like, for example, you want to get into a habit of drinking water 8 glasses a day, that's a habit that you can, build in 21 days. But if you want to go to the gym for three times a day of a week or 4 times a week, then no, that requires you to do that for 66 days to build that habit, so you go automatically to the gym.
That's new information. Some people always tie it to 21 days, but as you mentioned, sir, due to the gym, it's more challenging, isn't
Yes,
it?
it's more challenging because you need motivation, you need discipline, you need sometimes maybe a partner that encourages you to
definitely.
go. Yeah.
What about the misconceptions and also people have or they get when forming new habits?
Well, basically, one of the misconceptions is the fact that it only takes 21 days. No, so it depends again. It depends on the environment, it depends on the personality of the person, how motivated they are to take that a new habit. And then where the thoughts are when you are like you wanted that habit, so you have like a desire for that habit, you can cut it shorter because you're motivated and you're more disciplined to do it.
Exactly, and the enthusiasm also.
Yeah, the enthusiasm part is very major because you're not used to do something. You're into the habit, for example, of sitting and watching TV or snacking on TV, and that can be unhealthy. So what you do, you have to change that environment. Exactly. Or remove the snacks, for example, or the unhealthy snack with a healthy snack.
How about we talk about the effect or making an impact? What are the most effective techniques for creating and having a sustaining new habits?
Well, we didn't talk about that in the misconception, is the fact that, people think that they have to start big. The best way is to start small, because when you start big, sometimes you get, stressed and you get overwhelmed, and you don't do that, or you don't acquire, especially if it's a positive habit, like exercising, for example, or eating healthy, or doing less and waste time in social media or what have you. What we do usually when we want to change a habit is to replace it with another habit, or for example, where we mix it with another habit. An example of this like could be like, you know, you want to stretch every morning. So you link the stretch with an existing routine or existing habits that you have. For example, brushing your teeth. So when you brush your teeth in the morning, you immediately go into the 5 minute stretching. So that helps you, you know, take a new habits.
Let's go and address a huge issue people facing maybe for several years, which is what people call also a bad habit. People
Yeah.
can describe it as a bad habit to their friends, one of their family members, to their colleagues. So how can someone break a bad habit, especially if they had it for years?
Yes. You know, I can see that with some people that I ask, you know, in my interaction, you know, who gets angry. And most of the time, most of the people, they get angry. And that's a habit, right? And it could be built for years. And if you ask them why you get angry, that's me. I can't be not
Is it normal to say
not
that's me?
angry. No, it's not. It's avoidance of the fact that you have a bad habit, and you have the personal responsibility to change that habit to the better. You know, everybody who gets angry, they regret after the, you know,
After
the
the,
incidents. They say, why, what did I say, or why did I do that? You know, they regret whatever, you know, behavior that
They
came
do.
out from them. And that tells you that it's a wrong thing to do. So it's a bad habit. And to get rid of it is basically to know what triggers it or what's the cues, you know. So you have to have strategic cues, and you have to make it into routine. But what makes you angry? What makes you? And you look at into retrospects, and you see the time that you were angry and what triggers your anger, and find out that cue, and then change your routine, and then award yourself when you catch yourself wanting to get angry. Just pause and take a deep breath, and then respond rather than react. So there is many techniques that you can build into, you know, changing habits or habits formation. And the best one is the loop of the cues, routine, and awards or rewards. You want to, you
That's
know,
great.
when you start to small things, it's easier to start a small change. But over time, that small change will become a bigger change that will impact you big time. For example, if you don't have, if you want to read and you are not a good reader, it's good to put a book on your pillow, so that triggers you. That's the cue that tells you, oh, I should read. And you start small with 1 page a day. So when you if it's 1 page a day, it's doable. So you do 1 page a day, and the next day the same. After a while, you see yourself, you love reading. You'll go to 5, you'll go to 10, and hopefully you go for a book per week.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And let's go back, sir, to the scratch.
Yes.
Building, or let's say the foundation of building a habit. Let's
Yes.
talk more, please, about the formation of the habit and
Yes.
how can we adjust and manage a new habit.
It's basically, it starts with a thought or a cue, a trigger, a stimuli that comes from abroad. Maybe it's a commercial on any of the platforms, and you see it and you say, oh, I should, you know, drink coffee because coffee is healthy, for example. And you start, you know, trying a new coffee, and you like it, and then you start doing it on daily basis consistently, and then you see the reward of the coffee, and then it becomes automatic. It becomes automatic after repeating it so many times. Like, you know, remember the first time when we drove a car? We were like very conscious. We were like looking at the rear window, the side mirror, and we were very careful. We cannot do anything. We cannot think of. We are focused on driving the car, after repeating that for so many times, now the car drives by itself. We go everywhere like automatically. It's subconsciously, it's done. And that's the power of habit, really. You want to do things without efforts, and that's the habit that comes. But we don't want to have negative habit. We always want positive habit that impact the world that we live in a positive way.
How about constancy and its role in building a habit? And do you have any tips, please, regarding the motivation, how we can motivate ourselves and others when it comes to building a new habit, starting a new good habit, let's say, or keeping and maintaining a great habit?
Absolutely. It's basically, the reward and the motivation part and the environment plays a big role. Who are you being with? Like, for example, if let's take that if somebody wants to become a vegetarian out of health reason and they want to be healthy, they cannot be with people who are eating, non-vegetarian. So they have to have the environment set up in a way that helps them take that habit, and they have to reward themselves if they do it. If they do it, for example, once a week, and then 3 times a week, and then and then the whole week, and then the whole month, and a little bit by little, and if they see the benefits of it, then why not? They continue. If they don't see the benefit of it, then they can look for something else. But a habit requires of us to first identify what we want and have really a goal that is reasonable, attainable, you can achieve it, rather than a big goal. And sometimes a big goal can be chunked into little pieces, and once you do that little piece, it will encourage you and you get the discipline, especially if you are celebrating the small wins that you are winning each time. And it can be for so many things, like for example, sleeping early. If you are used to sleeping late, and it's a habit, sleeping late, but if you know that is not healthy for you, and it's your organs and your system and your body, your health needs that rest in the specific time, then you try to sleep, before you sleep at 1, then you sleep at 12, then you sleep at 11, then you sleep at 10. Gradually, you will get the hang of it, and you can acquire any behavior that you need, because again, it starts from the thought, and then the intellect decide if this is a good habit or is it according to my values or not, because the intellect can be the filtering of these thoughts and ideas, and if it's good, then you repeat it, and when you repeat it, it becomes ingrained in us, and we do it automatically. We do it without effort, and that's nice. I mean, with some of the good habits that we have, for example, exercising.
Exactly.
I know a lot of people that if they don't exercise one day, they feel bad. So that means they are in the habit of exercising.
And what can you say, sir, to people who are worried or having concerns, or they're stalling themselves in a situation that they like, let's say the comfort zone?
Yeah.
How do habits relate to willpower and also self-disciplines, and are they always necessary to build habits?
Yes, in the beginning they are necessary, especially willpower and self-discipline. Again, it's for the cue where you want to engage in this kind of habit. For example, we talked about reading, and you want to read because this is something, it's a virtue to read, to get knowledge and so on. So you read a bit, and you read one page, and then you read the second day 2 pages, and little by little you will become it becomes a habit and ingrained in you. In anything, in any ways, it's just the part of repetition and awarding yourself for doing that habit, because you're, you know, when you are comfortable in your comfort zone, then you are not growing. We only grow when we do something out of our comfort zone.
Out of
And
the box.
yes, out of the, because you know, you create new neurons in the brain, new pathways, and that's really healthy. There is a saying that say you cannot teach an old person a new trick. It's rubbish.
And sometimes they say you cannot raise an old cat.
Yeah, of course you can, and especially when it comes to human being, we always are able to learn and get new habits if we want to, if we have the desire.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Hamza, for the valuable information you shared with us this evening regarding great habits. Wish you the best of luck with your future endeavors, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having me.
It's a pleasure. The viewers, we just had with us Mr. Hamza Taqi, Master Performance Consultant. Let's go now and take a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.